What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video, and in this one it is part 2 of players who need to figure it out in spring training. Last time in part 1 we did players that have been killing it so far, been going crazy in spring. Now it's 5 players who have to figure it out. Once again, shout out to the Jays Journal, got their article up right here. If you're excited for this one, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's freaking get right into it. So number 5, this one's pretty obvious for me, to say the least. We got Yariel Rodriguez. It's been a tough start to the spring for Yariel after having been outrouted to AAA Buffalo during the offseason. His first outing was disastrous as he allowed 6 earned runs in just 2/3 of an inning. Most alarming, his fastball went down 3 ticks, averaging 92.9 miles per hour, different from the flashes of 96 to 97 he was showing early in 2025 and found success. It seems like at this rate he may be destined to start the year in the minor leagues. That's the thing, man. With the bullpen right now as it's constructed, I just genuinely don't see a spot for Yariel Rodriguez, and I think that the best spot for him to start the year at least would be the minors. See if he can get back to where he was early last season, and if he does so, then there will be a spot for him. But right now we just have too many pitchers on the pitching staff, and obviously that is a good thing because pitchers are destined to get injured. I kind of feel bad for Yariel Rodriguez because the first half of 2025, if you told me he was going to be an all-star, I would not have been mad at you. That is how crazy this guy was. It's kind of like Brandon Little, except the fall off wasn't as crazy. Second half, he was really bad. And then the playoffs, he continued to be really bad. And I was hoping in spring he would turn it around, but so far at least he's not turned it around. He did all right in Cuba, so shout out to him. Like I said, it's probably best for him to start the year in the minors, see if he can build up back his velocity perhaps, and see where we go from there. But number 4 is pretty surprising for your boy because they got Eric Lauer. No amount of praise can do Eric Lauer the justice he deserves after a masterful 2025 campaign. Whether it be posting a 134 ERA plus as the regular season swingman, or the 4 2/3 scoreless innings he threw in the Marathon World Series Game 3 in LA, Lauer was a critical part of the Blue Jays last season. In light of recent roster additions, Lauer looks at odds with a starting spot to begin the year, competing for what seems to be a swingman type of role once again. In his 2 2/3 innings so far, he's struggled a bit with quality command. As a finesse arm, it's imperative he finds a feel for his pitches sooner rather than later, especially before he gets jumped in the pecking order. Now, the reason why I'm surprised he's on this list is because of the 2 2/3 innings. It's been such a short sample size. The thing I've noticed about John Schneider, especially earlier in spring, was rightfully so, he would have all of his pitchers throw 1 inning unless they got out of the inning in like under 10 pitches. Now you can see, like with the Blue Jay game today, Cody Ponce went 3 innings. Jose Barrios a couple starts ago went 4 innings. So now it's getting deeper into spring. He's letting the starters roll out longer. But Eric Lauer, he's only gone 2 2/3 innings, so we haven't really quite seen his full potential in spring training just yet. 2025, Eric Lauer saved the season. Without Eric Lauer coming up when like half of our pitchers got hurt to start the year, Eric Lauer came in and saved us, and if he wasn't there, we would have fallen apart. So shout out to Eric Lauer. But with the way this roster is constructed, and if everyone stays healthy, Shane Bieber is going to start the year on the IL. Jose Barrios has right elbow inflammation now, something completely different from last season. So maybe there is potentially a way Eric Lauer can get into that starting spot. But with everybody healthy, you got a rotation of Gausman, Cease, Bieber, Savage, and Ponce, and like Barrios, you figure that out later kind of thing. He might have to be a swingman as well, like they're talking about with Eric Lauer. There's just not really a spot, even with how good Eric Lauer has been last season and how good he continues to be. There's not really a spot for him in the lineup right now, and that's kind of what he's fighting for in spring. And if he's not gonna take advantage, even if it is just 2 2/3 innings, if he's not gonna be productive in what we see, then he's not gonna earn a spot in the starting rotation. Coming out of the bullpen would be tremendous in my opinion. I don't think Eric Lauer needs to start, but if he wants to compete for it, not doing a great job at it right now. Third guy they have on the list is Nathan Lukes, and actually the paragraph for Nathan Lukes is pretty short. Lukes was a reliable contributor in 2025, but has had a slow start to his spring, with guys like Jesus Sanchez and RJ Schreck potentially threatening his playing time in an overcrowded outfield. He can't afford a prolonged slump. Also, I'm having a video come out about Eloy Jimenez later this week. Eloy Jimenez might genuinely make the team out of spring training. A lot of people forget how good Eloy Jimenez was with the White Sox, and now that he's healthy again and he's on the Blue Jays, Eloy Jimenez is killing it, and you love to see it. Again, Jesus Sanchez, when Ross Atkins traded Joey for Jesus Sanchez, he kind of knew and thought that he would be a good player for every day in the lineup against righties, because he cannot hit lefties, but against righties he is tremendous. So that's kind of the plan for Jesus Sanchez, to be in their lineup every day facing right-handed hitters. And RJ Schreck, I don't really know if RJ Schreck has shown enough on the offensive side of the ball. His defense has been pretty solid this spring for what I'm seeing. But Nathan Lukes, if he's fighting again for playing time in the big leagues, which I absolutely hate to see for Nathan Lukes, because he spent like 9 years in the minor leagues, gets called up in 2024, has a bang in 2025, and now he's fighting with guys like Jesus Sanchez and Eloy Jimenez and RJ Schreck for playing time again. So I kind of personally hate to see it. Nathan Lukes in the offseason was one of my 4 guys that I thought we should trade. It was between Davis Schneider, Nathan Lukes, Miles Straw, and Joey Loperfido. We actually traded Joey Loperfido, so I got one of them right, I guess. But Nathan Lukes, if he's not going to show that he can still do it, I would hate for it to happen to him, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they decided to put Eloy Jimenez or Jesus Sanchez in over him. Me personally, I don't think RJ Schreck is ready just yet. Maybe another year or so, maybe a little less than a year. But right now, Nathan Lukes' starting spot on left field, it's kind of up in the air. Number 2 on the list is Jorge Alcala. And shout out to Jorge Alcala, because he actually followed your boy over on Instagram. Blue Jays Breakdown just surpassed 400 followers. Love y'all. Go follow if you haven't already. Alcala was a fun filler pickup for the Blue Jays to dream on. He has had successful seasons in the past with Minnesota, attributed to his electric fastball and wicked slider. However, it was concerning that during his first outing, his 89th percentile fastball velo that made him so intriguing appeared was more like 10th percentile, sitting around 91 miles per hour, along with a slider being thrown with noticeably less depth. On Friday versus Tampa Bay, he was able to redeem himself in his second appearance, flashing on top of a 97.5 miles per hour, and he'll look to maintain that velocity and showcase some of the swing and miss stuff he possessed back in 2021 and 2024. Now, I haven't seen a lot about Jorge Alcala so far in spring training, haven't really been keeping an eye on him as much as some other people may have, but from what I'm seeing, for him to go from 91 to 97.5, first of all, is very impressive. But if his fastball was already in the 89th percentile, to drop down to 10th percentile in just one outing, sitting around 91 miles per hour, that is kind of crazy. So hopefully, if he's fighting for a spot potentially to come up halfway through the season to help out this bullpen, which I think could be the case, then he can maintain that 97 to 98 miles per hour topping out on the fastball, and with his other stuff, just maintain his velocity as well, and like it's saying too, maintain the swing and miss stuff, come back from the 2024 season that he had, and potentially help out this team later in the season. The final guy, number 1 on the list, is RJ Schreck. Actually, that's kind of surprising to me, because like I said earlier, his offensive stuff has been pretty lackluster, but his defense has been good. So we will see what they have to say. While RJ Schreck has had an impressive steal of home and an unbelievable catch in right field during Saturday's matchup against the Phillies, his bat seems to be the lagging a few games into camp. As a prospect many have pegged for a breakout, he's had some tough at-bats, displaying an uncharacteristic approach, poor swing decisions, and prone to whiff. He will need to show some more consistency at the plate. That's kind of what I thought they were going to be talking about, you know what I'm saying? I don't really got a lot to talk about RJ Schreck. I think RJ Schreck is going to be killing this season in the minor leagues. Next season, I could see him up to the MLB as soon as next season, kind of coming off the bench or maybe starting in right field a little bit sometimes. Maybe if we don't re-sign George Springer, that's when he can get some reps in right field or come off the bench, like I said. Again, really like the defense, really like the base running, but like I said, and like this is saying, the offense just needs to be better. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what the bottom line comes down to. They also go on to say, though, it's not the time to overreact. Growing pains are real, and some guys take longer than others to get going. For those killing it already, riding that high over the course of the next month and into the regular season is the goal. For those struggling to start, taking the time to reset and trust the process is key before the grueling roster crunch begins. Reminder, Alan Rodin was a monster in 2025 spring training and projected to be a lineup stalwart, only to be traded at the deadline. On the flip side, George Springer had 4 hits all spring training last year and arguably could have been cut and ended up having a career year. Baseball is funny sometimes. That's the thing, man. Spring training is just practice. It's nothing to overreact at. All guys, it's kind of funny in some ways. In basketball, they say if you have a good shoot around before the game, that means you're going to be playing bad in the game. If you have a bad shoot around before the game, it means you're going to be playing good. It's kind of like the same thing for spring training. But some guys who have a good spring play good. Some guys who have a bad spring play bad. But sometimes it's the other way around. That's all I got for you guys today, though. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe. Got some more player breakdowns coming out. I know you guys love those, so I'm getting those out sometime next week. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe. It's been your boy, Brandon. I break down the Toronto Blue Jays, and I'll see you next time. Peace.